Are we gonna? Are we almost live here? Are we almost good? Yeah. Oh, oh. I, I think it looks like we're good. It looks like we're live. Okay. Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I have a quote unquote healthy cookie. It's really as unhealthy as any other cookie. It just has raisins in it, so it makes you think it's healthy, but it's not. It actually doesn't taste that bad. Raisins aren't awful. Smells pretty nice, but that's totally besides the point. This is going to be an update stream about stuff that's going on with my channel. Just mini updates and bigger updates because I always keep people in the dark when it comes to this sort of stuff. I'm a very impersonal type of person when it comes to my channel. I make my half-assed content and then I go on with my day and I wait another 5 days, more half-assed content. Maybe every 2 weeks you'll get a stream of Danganronpa, but I usually leave you in the dark about everything. So I'm going to update you about stuff you might be thinking about. I don't know, a few people who'll be questioning certain things, and yeah. Well, first thing is that about my microphone. Hold on a second. Okay, it's actually on this time. Thank God. I'll turn it up a bit. Yeah, about my microphone. I don't know if I've told you this, but I got this years ago, and it's dented, and it's $28, and it's not the best thing in the world. It sounds all right, but I got a new microphone. It's called the Samsung CO1U, and it can't stand up on its own on my bed, which is what I like so much about this one. But if I find a way to get it to stand up, I'm going to use that one because it's just better than this one. It's just better is really the answer. The only problem is that there's actually not an option to turn it up or down on the microphone itself, so I might stick to this one just for that. But yeah, the fact that it's dented and it's older and yeah, makes me wary of continuing to use that. And yeah. Also, one thing that a lot of people are probably going to be thinking about, and I'll actually go to YouTube as I'm talking about these things. One thing a lot of people are probably wondering about is not the Danganronpa. I always have Danganronpa on the brain now, but it's not always what I'm talking about. One of the things that a lot of people are probably thinking about is the Ace Attorney fandub I talked about quite a while ago, and let me just look it up here. Ace Attorney. Oh, hold on a second. I've made too many damn Ace Attorney videos, it would seem. Goddamn, where is it? Believe me, it's there. It is. This, I said it'll come out a few months from now. It came out 11 months ago. So, yeah. Here's my explanation for that, and it's not a good one. It's not a fair one. I'm not justified in this situation, but here's my honest explanation as to why it's taken so long. I've just not felt like doing it. When I first uploaded the video, I was very, very passionate about voice acting and putting together a project, but since then, I've really lost faith in my abilities as an actor. I've lost passion in my abilities as an actor, and that doesn't justify it being almost a year since the video came out, and I even saw a notification in my server there, which I immediately marked as red, and I didn't read because I couldn't handle seeing someone being disappointed in me because it's been that long and everyone's recorded their lines and I haven't. It's just, yeah, I haven't felt like recording my lines at all, and that's not an excuse. But it's just I'm too scared of screwing them all up that I do want to eventually record them and get them out because it's only being fair to the people who've already recorded their lines and to the people who actually want to see the finished dub. But it's just I don't know. I have totally lost interest and totally lost confidence in myself, so I will still try and get that done. It's just I don't know, I can't even find a good place to record it. You know, like I mean, the only place where there will be no noise is a camper outside that's going to be pretty cold right now and will be cold in the following days. I mean, you'll hear background noise in the background because my siblings think it's so hilarious to be loud all the time, and I know that's like it's like, oh, you're just an older sibling, hating on them for doing what they want to do. I mean, you were exactly like them when you were their age, and it's like, sure, maybe, I guess. I think I was at least slightly more mature because I don't know, but you know, maybe I was, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not really sure that that argument works when you have to hear them screaming in your ear constantly, and you can't even upload videos to your YouTube channel, which is the one time you've ever really gotten much attention in your life, ever. You know, it's like you know, like you can tell me that used to be like them all you want, but it's like at no point will that ever work when I'm being held back, but by doing from doing what I want to do by them. You know, it's like, I mean, I don't know what they're passionate about. I don't know what I'm holding them back from. But they know full well that I have stuff to do, and they just don't care. So I can't really in good faith say, yeah, I agree with you. I was exactly like them. I have no reason to be pissed at all. No, no. I think I have some reason, but regardless, oh, well, 2 playbacks, it would seem, an average watch time of 5 seconds. Well, whatever. People can watch this video back. Yeah, so that's my update with the Ace Attorney fandub. It's like I've totally lost interest, and I want to continue it, as I don't want to do a disservice to all the people who've worked on the fandub, who are way more talented than I am and way more experienced and skilled. But you know, at the same time, it's like I just don't feel like it at all. And I just don't think that I'd be good in it, and it's nerve-wracking. But you know, it's been 11 months. That's one of my most viewed videos, and like 15 other people are in the dub. I don't want to do a disservice to everyone. It's just I've totally lost everything that would have made me want to do it in the first place. You know, and yeah. Because to me, like, the only times I've ever been confident are when I've ignored the obvious setbacks, or when I've just pretty much ignored the truth, in hopes that my passion would get in the way of the obvious stuff that wouldn't work, and that's never happened. That's never happened at all. It's why I barely talk in class. It's like, what is there to talk about? I mean, I could talk about the scratch marks on the frickin' door all I want, but that's not interesting. It's not interesting. So, whatever. But that is totally off topic from... Is my microphone still going on? Can people still... Okay, all right. People will still be able to hear me. I accidentally opened DaVinci Resolve. Please close out of it, please. Oh, fuck. Okay. No, just close out of it, please. Close window. This is one of the things I hate about DaVinci Resolve, because it won't... When I've accidentally turned it on, it won't close out of the window. It sucks. So this is going to be really laggy for you at this moment in time. Not like it was any better earlier, but I mean, yeah. Not that anyone's even going to see this. I mean, I don't know. I thought maybe the notification would be enough. I guess not. And yeah, well, the reason why I didn't share this with Vincent or Harper is because, I mean, I talk with them all the time. Like, they already know most of what I'm going to tell them. It's just that, you know, you, the viewers, don't exactly know. But, I mean, whatever. And yes, I have notifications from Reddit. I'm trying to... It's not something I'm proud of, but whatever. I mean, I heard someone I've met someone who had a very huge hatred of Reddit. But the thing about him is that he was a 18-year-old incel who was involved with 2 relationships with 2 people online, and when they left, he kind of went totally insane. He bullied a 14 and a 15-year-old girl because they disagreed with him politically or stuff like that. And the people who know me who are watching this are gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, he was just a total jerk, and he basically acted like a typical Redditor, even though he like made fun of Reddit all the time. It's like, dude, you're a fat neckbeard incel who has actively tried to hunt down a 14 and a 15-year-old respectively, because you don't like them for like no reason. Like, I mean, you're a grown man attacking minors. I mean, you're probably even a pedophile. Even, I mean, what do you have to say against Redditors that hasn't been said by people 10 times better than you? It's kind of odd, but yeah, you know. And it's like, you know, it's really nice though when I'm like able to hate someone and people like agree with me. It's like usually it's like, oh, come on, calm down. You're the one in the wrong. They may have cut your frickin' hand off, but at least it was an accident. I still have both my hands. I'm not speaking from experience, but you know, like they may have wronged you in every conceivable way, but it's still somehow your fault. Just forget about all the ways they've wronged you. But then there are the times where, like, I mean, just their existence is enough for me to dislike them, and other people agree. It's like it's so nice to be in mutual agreement on hatred, and you know, loving, of course, but hatred, being able to mutually hate something or someone is quite amazing. But I'm gonna stop talking. And yeah, here's the next big update, and probably bigger than the last one. It's like, no offense to the people involved in the fandub and the people who really want to see it done, but I'd argue that this is way more important. And it's an update on the AzzMan situation, and I'm actually going to put a time code in the comments to when I start talking about the AzzMan situation, because I'm pretty sure most people are probably going to want a follow up on that if they're watching this. And yeah, well, it's quite an interesting story actually, because he responded, and of course I when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about, you know, this video right here, and I have pinned a comment in this video talking about the fact that he replied to me on Twitter. Yep, no one's watching. Oh, that's great. Anyways, I hold the phone. Oh, wait a minute. I did pin a comment, but I deleted it because, okay, yeah, all right, now I understand. But yeah, well, basically, before I show that, I'm going to show you something else, and there we go. YouTube video blocked. Defamation complaint. Hi, Tristan Foss. We've received a defamation complaint regarding your content. After review, the following content has been blocked from view on the YouTube country sites listed below. Video proof that AzzMan is a child groomer. The content has been blocked from view on the following YouTube country sites. New Zealand. And in case you didn't know, New Zealand is where AzzMan lives, so I'm not saying it was him, but it was probably him. And actually, I appealed this, and it didn't get my entire channel deleted, but apparently it's going to delete the video, and it's not deleted yet. So yeah, the thing is though, is that I have the file on my school computer, so if I really wanted to, I could just re-upload it. But to be honest with you, I think my point's been I have my point. What am I talking about? I've explained my point. You know, I've got my point across. I don't think that it's exactly necessary. The video needs to stay up, but you know, if people want it to stay up, I'll put it back up. It's just, I think people get the point. But anyways, hello, your content has been removed due to one or more legal complaints that we received. We've reviewed your appeal and determined that we're unable to reinstate your content. Sincerely, the YouTube team. They probably just saw me mentioning freedom of speech and just totally deleted it. But here's what I said. I said, okay, email I'm gonna, yeah, it's not like it really matters that people see my email. I mean, how many people even watch my videos? But whatever. I could, you know, censor it if I really wanted to. Anyways, I said, I believe my YouTube video was restricted in error because in the situation I spoke of, at no point did I try or succeed in making up information to make AzzMan look bad. and when saying that, I mean, like, I didn't say anything necessarily. No, I didn't necessarily make anything up. It's like I called him a pedophile. I called him a child groomer based off the screenshots. You know, that was my opinion on the screenshots. I didn't say AzzMan sent naked pictures to a minor, because he didn't, and I'm not trying to make anything up. You know, in fact, I even made it clear in the video that I implored people to look at the screenshots and decide for themselves whether what I said applied to them or not, because, like, I don't want to force anyone to think anything if I'm being unreasonable, but obviously AzzMan didn't think of that, and obviously YouTube didn't think of that, and I said, or tried to, yeah, okay, I called him a pedophile and a child groomer based on the evidence I linked people to in the description, and those words were an honest reflection of my opinion. I didn't make anything up. I simply expressed myself in what some might consider a rude way. Okay, laws, regulation, and this is where I was bringing the laws into account, and I said, in both the U.S., where I live, and in New Zealand, where he lives, it is listed as a human right that a person is allowed to express whatever opinions they wish to express. Now, I was stupid for thinking this would ever work, of course, but, I mean, still, I mean, I was worth giving it a shot. Amendment 1 in the U.S. and Section 14 in New Zealand. In fact, New Zealand's Section 14 is actually even more blunt than well, was it Section 14 or it was Section 14? I think I said 16. I'm sorry, but yeah, Section 14 is actually even actually, hold on a second. New Zealand freedom of speech. It's even more blunt than Amendment 1. It's okay. Freedom of speech, in particular, freedom of expression, is preserved in Section 14 of the New Zealand Bill of Rights Act, 1990. So it's as recent as a few decades ago, as opposed to hundreds of years ago, which states that everyone has the right to freedom of expression, including the right to seek, receive, and impart information and opinions of any kind or form. Any kind or form. Like, I don't even think they're that specific in the First Amendment, but in the in Section 14, they're so blunt about it that they say literally they're basically saying, say whatever the hell you want. You're protected by law, but apparently that didn't count for anything, and the video was blocked in New Zealand, the country that has an even more blunt freedom of speech law than in the U.S. I mean, the U.S. is just like, I mean, your speech is protected. This is like, express any opinion you want. It's like, okay, they mean the same thing at the end of the day, but this is being so much more specific, and yet that's where it was blocked. It just feels very odd. Feels very, very odd. But regardless, let's keep reading. I feel that it is because of this that there is no lawful reason that my video should have to be blocked anywhere, especially not New Zealand, as what I said was protected under their laws. Affirmation, agree, I don't quite understand what they're meaning by that. And there's my full legal name. I add a middle name, but you already know my first and last name. I don't really think that it matters that you see my full name, but yeah, so that was him deleting my video, and that was my defense. It's still up, so I'm not sure if it's actually going to happen, but it might. I mean, it's possible. It's conceivable. But anyways, I did the research on this, and from what I've seen, you basically have no expectation of privacy in private conversations. So, while the best thing to do would be to ask him for permission, the issue is he wouldn't give me permission if I asked him for it. And what I'm doing by showing his messages is not going to be illegal. In fact, those messages of his private conversations with a 14-year-old girl and with what I'm pretty sure was a 12-year-old, those are both up, and he's done nothing to get those taken down, and those were definitely screenshotted without his permission. So I see no reason as to why I can't show our conversations and express my opinions, especially since I'm going to be showing the entire thing. I'll be taking nothing out of context. I won't be cutting out bits of it. I'll literally be live streaming our messages, and I think it's totally fair what I'm doing in that sense, in that case. So, yeah. Anyways, here it is. he replied to me, and these are the contents of our reply. As you can see, they're pretty long, and I have some interesting points. Some in his favor, because I do think at times I was unfair in either the video or even in talking to him here, but most of these are negative, and you'll see why. I'll give my opinions once I'm done. I'll give my opinions as they come up, and like, while reading the messages. I won't read the entire message or read all the messages and then give my opinions on them, because it's just easier for me to express myself if I read the stuff I either agree or disagree with, and then go from there. And here we go. Hi, Tristan. Your video about me has been brought to my attention. Yeah, I found this very interesting because he doesn't really specify how he brought it to his attention. I'm thinking it's like he could have some some frickin' servant come in and show him, Lord, my lord, a video calling you a pedophile has been uploaded to the internet. Or he could just be looking up his own name, and he's probably looking up his own name. And in fairness, I do that too. I'm not saying that he's an egotistical bastard. I'm just saying that, that he's probably looking up himself, and he sees that I made a video about him. It's funny though, because I'm pretty sure my video calling him a pedophile is probably one of the only videos anyone's ever made about him while he's been on YouTube, despite him being pretty popular a couple years ago. And yeah, it's a little suspicious. I'm not saying he had sub bots, and that's not really it's really beyond the point. It's just that his channel kind of capped off at about 600,000, and he never really got any more subscribers beyond then, and eventually he lost subscribers. I just I'd have to look at his social blade and see how specific the amount of subscribers he's getting is, and if they're like if they're all divisible by like 100 or something, I think at that point in time it's suspicious. But I think I think if they are really off and even off or whatever, it's not a sub bot. I don't know. I just always really found that strange. His channel has really always been an anomaly, and yeah. Anyways, firstly, I'm sorry that recent stories have shattered my memory to you as a fan back when I was active on YouTube. Yeah, the whole stories bit is kind of a big theme with him here, but I'll keep going. And secondly, I admire you feeling the need to share the shocking assumptions these stories lead people to believe. And one thing I'll give credit where credit is due. I admire the fact that he's not just coming in here and saying, just delete your stupid video, idiot. You called me a pedophile. I can't have that happen. He is at least being nice about it, even if it's totally fake, which it probably is, because I was being nice about it when talking to him, even though I was saying things I didn't really believe. But yeah, and he said, but many of the sweeping accusations you state are misinformed, slanderous, and very damaging. Okay, and I'm sorry to have a point about almost everything he says, but this I didn't quite think that this was fair or a smart thing to say, because it's like, the damaging stuff having to do with his channel is going to be the screenshots. It's going to be him talking with a 14-year-old girl until she turns 16, right? That's what's going to be damaging. It's not going to be me calling him a pedophile. I accused him of being a pedophile and a child groomer based off the evidence. I didn't make up a story. I didn't illustrate how he groomed me, because he didn't. I simply offered what I felt was a fair representation of the screenshots, and maybe I called him it too many times, or maybe I didn't illustrate my points well enough, and I'm not perfect. Maybe I did, but I don't think that it's right for him to say that I've given him sweeping accusations, because I read the screenshots and I had nothing to. I could come to no conclusion, but this makes you count as a pedophile. It wasn't like, I want you to be a pedophile, so I'm going to make stuff up. I didn't make anything up, but regardless, might help by looking up the label you give me in the dictionary, pedophile. And the reason why I called him a pedophile and not beyond a child groomer is because you were talking with a 14-year-old girl, and you were saying very explicit things. I don't know if you've read the messages yourself, but they're still up. They're still, they're still up on Twitter, and he's taken no action to get them taken down. Although I'm sure that he's tried and just failed. But in the screenshots, he said many very strange things. He talks about how attractive she is, and he he said, he says that you're cute, you are my pet, you're so quiet, and really incel like things like that, that would be bad when said to a 25-year-old woman, let alone a 14-year-old girl. Like, I mean, that's not the type of thing you say to a kid if you don't find them attractive, and like you shouldn't find a kid attractive. And I mean, I just it's really, it's like, I mean, you could say, okay, well, maybe he's just very, very affectionate, but that's I'm pretty sure that's utter bullocks, as the British would say. It's just the what he said was really awful. Not to mention the fact that, well, 16 is indeed the age of consent in New Zealand, and I messed something up there. I said Australia. I thought he was he was from Australia, but no, he calls himself an Aussie, even though he's from New Zealand and was raised in New Zealand. I guess I guess you can be considered Australian if you're in New Zealand. I don't fricking know, but yeah, he is from New Zealand. Although a lot of people have called him Australian. A lot of people have called him from New Zealand. But if he is truly from New Zealand and born in New Zealand, that is the age of consent. But it's just that what I took issue with was, if he were in Australia, that wouldn't totally be the case. 16 to 18-year-olds can have sex with 16 to 18-year-olds. It's not like a 16-year-old can have sex with whoever they please, whether they be their age or 97. It was always 16 to 18. But no, in New Zealand, the age of consent is 16, and that's as far as it goes. They don't have any other special rules. That's all there is to it. So yeah, the problem is that he had these really weird conversations with someone he knew was not of age, and he wanted to build a friendship until she was of age. I mean, that's pretty much the dictionary definition of grooming. The only thing that makes it slightly better is the fact that he would technically wait until she was legal to go all out. But even beyond that, I feel like, and I'm talking about stuff that's going to come up in later messages, but it's like, I feel like you could say, like, okay, well, 16 is legal all you want, but I'd argue that, I mean, it might be legal, but it's not right. I mean, 16 may be the age of consent in New Zealand, but I doubt that it's the age you become a legal adult. I mean, science has shown that the human brain doesn't even fully develop until you're 25, and he would have been 37 when she was 16. It's like, I mean, even if it is legal, a 37-year-old and a 16-year-old, it's quite screwed up, I must say. And I don't even know that the age of consent is simply capped off at 16 in New Zealand. There could be more specific stuff and cases where, like it didn't matter because the other person was too old. I honestly don't know, but I just feel like he's using the law to justify himself, and that's like all the justification he has. He's the type of person who would talk to a lawyer for 20 minutes to take a look at all the immoral stuff that he can do that's also legal. It's like, yeah, sure, what you were planning on doing was legal, but it's really screwed up. And again, you're in a position of power. You're someone with over 500,000 subscribers talking to a 14-year-old girl and tell she's 16. It's like, I mean, even if it doesn't count as dating, even if you're definitely using your power to manipulate someone. And I think, if you don't realize that that's what you're doing, then I mean, that not only makes you a manipulator and a child groomer, but it also makes you kind of an idiot if you can't understand the implications of your actions. So I think that I was justified in calling him a child groomer, and also justified in calling him a pedophile, because I mean, it's not just about the idea of the messages. It's not just about simplifying them to the most simplified form. You have to take a look at the messages yourself to see what I mean. Like, they weren't okay. Like, I mean, it's very clear he had NSFW feelings toward this child, and I understand that the main propagator of these stories has spoken with 2 other girls One, it was always of age when I spoke with her, 17. The legal age is 16 in my country and hers. Okay, this is one thing I had a quarrel with originally that I will take back. 17 would be legal for him. Again, I don't quite agree with that because he would be almost 40 and they'd be 17. It's definitely screwed up, and it's definitely something to be wary about if this is the type of person we're dealing with. I mean, not to mention the fact that this guy was raised in the U.S., right? I mean, he talks about that in his videos, and his accent is pretty half and half between American and Australian, well, New Zealand, because like he grew up in the U.S., but he just so happened to move to where the age of consent is 16. I'm not saying that he moved there on purpose because he knew that the age of consent was 16. I just feel like it's like, I mean, I don't know. Like he would have been almost 40 and they would have been 17. It's kind of screwed up, and I don't know. It's just the fact he wasn't always in New Zealand. Just I don't know, man. But whatever. And the other girl's stories and age have been modified intentionally or unintentionally by Chinese whispers. If anyone can give me some insight as to what the heck he means by this, please do, because I honestly don't know what he's talking about here. Has anyone showed up? Nope. Well, okay. I'll just keep going. And yeah, please also kindly acknowledge the fact that I never mentioned or suggested anything non-platonic to anyone who was underage. These screenshots show me talking to a girl who I thought was 19 at first, then after I discovered her age, remaining friendly and in touch occasionally over the years until she stopped replying. When I at first thought she was 19 as she looked and had on her profile, I wanted to meet her, so mentioning it down the track when she would become an age that wouldn't cause legal problems is only a natural progression for this friendship, for me at least. This is the main thing I take issue with, because what he was... The position of power is definitely not it's definitely, you know, bad here. Even if he wasn't thinking of it like that, even if he wasn't intentionally trying to groom this person, he's almost 40 and they're 14. You know, what he said to the 14-year-old was quite bad, if I do say so myself. And they've talked about him saying even worse things to them. I haven't checked the screenshots in a while, but I do remember the "you are my pet" part, "you are so kawaii" part, all these compliments that you wouldn't give a friend that's your age, let alone a 14-year-old girl. It's like even if he wasn't intentionally trying to you know, trying to groom them, even if he wasn't trying to do this at all, it's like the amount of ignorance that exists here. It's like you know, like his brain is just wired to think that that's all okay. I mean, that almost makes it worse, you know. Not to mention the fact that, well, what was I going to say? It was not to mention it's not to mention the fact that he somehow thought that she looked 19 when she was 14. I find that hard to believe. I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, whatever. He thought she looked 19. It's not like she's like, okay, well, you look 14, but I think you're 19. And I'm attracted to you because I think you look 14. It's like, he said, yeah, I think you look 19. So, I mean, if you think a 14-year-old looks like a 19-year-old, that's a little suspicious, but I guess it's not as awful as it could be. I don't know. I mean, really, really strange. I don't want to take legal action against the video. I just find that ironic. It's because I don't want to take legal action against the video. It's been blocked in New Zealand, and me trying to appeal it has gotten it blocked. Is about to get it deleted, so now I have to re-upload it if anyone still wants to watch it. But instead, kindly ask that you remove it or replace it with a more researched, informed version. Please understand that I quit YouTube over a year ago and these sweeping and untrue accusations can have a very damaging effect on my life. I'm a person. I'm not perfect, but I have good intentions and never breach the law. What's going on here is a person being assumed guilty by a public opinion based on rumors. I hope you have the decency to consider what I've put forward to you today. Thanks. I take issue mainly with this part because it's like, what more research and information can I give? It's like, I mean, sure, the video wasn't exclusively talking about the screenshots. Sure, I would often be ranting at times, but I was expressing my opinion based off the screenshots. I wasn't like taking just a couple of stories told by people who have no evidence that those are true at all. I took a look at the screenshots and I came to that conclusion based off the screenshots. Like, I didn't care what the person giving them out was saying about them. In fact, if it was only about what the person was saying about the screenshots and not the screenshots, I would be on your side, because I mean the person who's posting these is putting them in all caps and stuff like that, and spelling, and like putting all these weird things there. Like, it's very clear that they want these things to get attention, and it's not like that's a bad thing, of course. It's just that when you promote it with all caps and stuff like that, it just looks fake, Like, if it was just about the stories, and if it was just about the way they presented these stories, I wouldn't have done anything at all. Like, if the screenshots weren't bad and they just said they were, this video would never have been made. But it's because I thought the screenshots were bad, and you can say they weren't that bad, and you were being too cruel with what you were saying. All you want. It's like, I don't. It's totally up to you to form your own opinion. I don't care if you think I was being unfair. It's just that everything I said was based off what I thought, based off the screenshots, and that's why I don't think that it's fair for him to say do a more researched, informed version, because like I'm not making anything up. I'm simply expressing what I believe based off what I've read and what I've seen. It's like, if anything was merely said to me and I had no proof of it, I wouldn't believe it at all. But my only defense for you would be if the screenshots were fake. And because you've confirmed that they're real, I have no further defense to give, and I can't do a more researched, informed version. I mean, what else can I do? I have good intentions, I'll never breach the law. And, a public opinion based on rumors. Like, rumors of screenshots that are real. It's like, what rumors? What rumors? I haven't seen any rumors, Like, this is the part I really take issue with, because he's just saying the typical stuff everyone says when they've gotten caught, and it's like, what damn rumors? Like, do you think that's going to work on me? No. It's not going to work, and it's not going to work on anyone else, I would hope. So, I'm just checking to make sure my mic is still working. Yeah, but yeah, it's just, he doesn't exactly know what he's talking about, and he doesn't exactly know how he thinks people are going to talk about this. And it's like I mean, seriously, this main part, it's like, these could have a very damaging effect on my life. I mean, good, you groomed a 14-year-old girl. I mean, if these have a damaging effect on your life, save yourself. I'm not going to be the one to save you. To do what it takes for you to defend yourself, but I can't be the one to defend you, because I don't believe in doing that. So, this did not convince me, and this was my reply. Hello, Nathan. I'd like to say that I appreciate you taking the time to write out this message and not simply striking my videos straight up or messaging constant obscenities to me in DMs, as less mature people might. I would also like to say that I apologize if my videos come off as me trying to give you a bad rep and have your name go down as that of a pedophile. That's actually the last thing I'd like to do. As I've mentioned in the video, I'm not doing this for clout or to call you a pedophile when you're not. In fact, if it were up to me, I would never have to be. It would never have to be the case that I'd have to make this video in the first place. But after hearing about these screenshots, I felt like I had to. And yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I mean, I was a fan of him. I would have taken a bullet for him 3 years ago. I mean, this is not I don't want a story. I don't want views. I mean, I don't know how many times I can say it before people finally believe me. I mean, this isn't because I want people to give me attention. I mean, what do you take me for? I know that to you, these screenshots may not come off at all like pedophilia or anything of the sort, but to most other people, even if you had no intentions of meeting up with this person until they were legal, the conversations you had with them were still suggestive in nature, and many would argue that even if she were 16, she would still be too young, but in fairness, it's a moral quibble, not a legal one. Once again, I sincerely apologize if the video has come off as me trying to give you a bad rep if you believe you don't deserve it, and I can admit then the video is often pretty wishy-washy, and at times a little too curt in calling you a child groomer. If you'd permit me, I'd like to post a pinned comment quoting what you said to me and excluding anything you don't want to be public. I don't want anyone's career to end swiftly, especially people I grew up watching. All I want to do is for the truth to be public, and I think that I can get out the more informed truth, as you put it, if you allow more people to see your message. Anyone else? Watch? Nope? Okay, well. I guess that's what replays are for. I appreciate that you acknowledge that. Okay, hi Tristan. I am not a pedophile. Look who attended high school debate class. Nothing I did, or said qualifies. Any public announcement in that regard is untruthful and defamatory. Thanks for your offer of a pinned message, but I instead ask that you kindly remove your video since it's a product and encourager of uninformed rumors and speculation, which is just extremely damaging and unfair. And it's like, I see where he's coming from in the situation. I mean, he doesn't believe himself to be a pedophile. I called him a pedophile. He believes I'm being defamatory and trying to ruin his image, tarnish his image. But as I've mentioned several times before, that's the last thing I want to do. I mean, I feel incredibly guilty about having to call him these things because, again, I would have gladly taken a bullet for him years ago. I would have donated all my savings to him. Just to keep him going for another week because I liked his content so much. But I mean, seriously, I mean, I had to because I mean, what he did qualified. I mean, it's like you said horrible things to a minor. You intended on meeting up with them when they were just barely legal. I mean, it's like I think this definitely counts, and it's like, I mean, it's like you don't have to agree with me on that, but to censor my own personal opinion, which is not even that unreasonable, is sort of, I mean, if you were so right in the situation, I would have gotten more dislikes. If you were so right in the situation, people on Reddit and Twitter wouldn't have given all those conversations of posting the stuff likes, and they wouldn't have agreed that it counts as pedophilia. I mean, just look at the Reddit posts. I mean, whenever someone's posted those screenshots, it's always been positive. It has always been positive. I mean, pretty much everyone who's seen them thinks that you qualify. So that's why I just I really just can't. I don't understand what you're talking about here. It's not defamatory to agree with literally everyone else on this situation. It's like you really have to. Well, time to plug my computer in, but it's like you really have to defend yourself because it's not by nature that you're right in this situation. It's not at all by nature that you're right. I mean, if anything is by nature, it's that you're wrong. But whatever. If you truly believe that you're right, then again, save yourself, defend yourself. I mean, it's your right. It's your life. You're a grown man. So, I mean, do what you need to do. To not have your name go down as a pedophile, but no one else is going to do that, especially not me. And he says, by the way, I know it must be hard. Also, wait, never mind. I'm sorry, my dog is in the background. I'm not going to cut that out or stop uploading the video. I mean, there's no time in a day where I can make a good video, so just accept the shitty ones. I apologize. He says, I appreciate that you acknowledge the clear difference between legal and moral standards people are trying to hold me accountable for. Unfortunately, your video on most rumors are blurring the lines and assuming the worst. Thanks in advance. This is another thing. It's like, I mean, it's, not everything has to be a matter of legal issues. It's like, I mean, people hate these screenshots because of the clear implications. It doesn't matter if they're legal or not. People hate the fact that they're moral, and it's like, that they're immoral. And it's like, I mean, you're essentially giving the argument that like a supervillain would give. It's like, what I'm doing may be wrong, but I haven't been arrested yet. I mean, what the hell? It's like people are holding you to moral standards because everyone holds everyone else to moral standards. I mean, it's like if you've done something immoral, people are going to criticize you on that. You don't have to be a convicted felon for people to criticize you, I mean... And he says, by the way, I know it must be hard making yourself remove your most viewed video. This is the part that would offend people with easily penetrable, yeah, that's it, egos. I personally didn't care so much. It just sort of showed me how uninformed he was about me while trying to claim that I was uninformed about him. But that's definitely not my most viewed video. In fact, my most viewed video has over 300 times more views than this video. I mean, if over 300,000 views versus 1,000 views, this is nowhere near my most viewed video, and he just doesn't. It's clear he doesn't know what he's talking about. And that's just like, I mean, he's trying to convince me about something that's totally not true. I mean, this would have no effect on my channel if it were deleted because it's not about the views. It's not about the views at all. It's like he can't handle the idea that someone could morally disagree with him. And it's like, I'm getting very heated because things are so loud in the background that I'm about ready to. Well, actually, someone tried to take down my video when I said something remotely edgy, so I'm not even gonna. I'm not even going to say what I wish I could do right now, but it's so damn loud out there. The amount of respect people have for me is amazing. It's truly amazing. But anyways, as a small YouTuber, I can relate with you. I remember my first video hit 1K views. All right, I realize this must be hard for you, but you have my word that if you make a fair and truthful video, I may direct people there if they ever confront me with questions. This could be helpful for you also. Maybe try script next time. It's like he's offering me a business thing. It's like, this isn't about business. This isn't about views. You've done something wrong, and I want people to know that you've done something wrong. That's as far as it goes. Like, you don't have to offer me the possibility of money or views or power. It's like, I mean, it's not hard for me because that's not what I was looking for at all. And yep. Well, I guess not that many people want to be updated. Okay, look, I understand the situation that you're in. I wouldn't want to be called a pedophile if I were you, and I'm not going to argue with you about the definition, as I understand opinions can differ. Here I was being more respectful than I had any right being, because I wanted him to be truly convinced, but yeah. And I respect that, but the thing is, most people, no matter what, are going to jump to that conclusion, no matter what I say. There will always be people who believe me and people who don't. And what's more, people who believe me and people who don't with screenshots. And that's the main thing here. I'm not making stuff up. I'm showing people the screenshots and giving my opinion on the screenshots. If people are going to cancel you, they're going to cancel you for stuff that it's been proven that you've done. So, you know, I don't get his defense. I mean, the people who are saying that you count as a child groomer / predator are the people who've read the comments and have had a back and forth with themselves about whether or not that this counts. No matter how the screenshots get out, people are going to say that once they've read them, they're going to say that once they've read them. I'm sorry. You can argue with what they say about what you said in the screenshots all you want, but I can assure you I'm not making anything up. Even in the video, I tried my best to be fair and only give the facts of the situation and my opinion of the facts. And beyond that, I implored people to look at the evidence themselves in case they came up with a different opinion to that of mine. I really don't want to keep bickering about this, but what the hell? That's better. But I just need you to understand that no matter what I do, no matter how fair I am, no matter how much you disagree with the general public is going to think you count as a pedophile, no matter how much of the information they take in. I empathize with your situation, and I feel sorry for the people I feel sorry for the fact, I'm sorry, I don't know what I read there. I feel sorry for the fact that you're being called a criminal when you don't want anything to do with this, but I can't be your defense in this situation. I can only show people the screenshots and offer my opinions on them, and you may not like that, and I get that, but that's all I can do. I understand if you try and make a response or try to take my video down. I won't be angry or frustrated with you if you do that. I'll acknowledge when I've done something wrong. That was a total lie. It was kind of annoying when he tried to take it down, but you say weird things when you're writing out a 3-paragraph response. A better constructed video simply won't change anything. And yeah, it won't. If I just gave people the screenshots, that's all it would take. I mean, I can't. The most neutral I could be is just tell people exactly what happened without offering anything. It's just like, he went into these DMs. He said this, and then she said this, and then he said this, and then he said this again, and this, and then he said this, and then the screenshots ended. Like, that's all I could do, but, I mean, that's not going to change anything. Because even being as neutral as humanly possible, people are going to come to that conclusion. People are going to count it as pedophilia. That's what... I can't do anything for you. I can't do anything for you at all. It's not my opinion. It's the opinion of thousands of other people who are going to see this. And beyond all that, I'm sorry to say your plan. This is one thing I'll amend, because I was incorrect. He doesn't live in Australia. He lives in New Zealand. However, I'm still going to read this off because I find what he says next hilarious. And beyond all that, I'm sorry to say your plan was illegal. The age of consent in Australia may be 16, but if you do more research than that, 16 to 18-year-olds can only have sex with 16 to 18-year-olds. Your plan only would have worked if you waited until she was 18, but it's clear that you believed you could friendly chat for 2 years and then go all out when she turns 16, and that's simply not the case. accusations based on the assumption my intentions were carnal. Conversations never broached that subject, but should instead make it clear I cared about her as a person. He didn't correct me on saying that he lived in Australia. He didn't say, actually, it is legal, and that's total bullocks. He actually changed his entire story. He went from, I would only start flirting and doing, NSFW stuff when she was 16 to, I had no intentions of doing that in the first place. And you're accusing me of stuff that's not true based off the assumption that the conversations were meant to do that, even though you pretty much expressed in the conversations themselves that that's exactly what your intentions were. And it's like he doesn't correct me on the obvious mistakes I made. He changes everything to defend himself, and that I don't know. I find that kind of hilarious. But yeah, that's it. You take a look at these conversations and see what what you think of them. I offered you everything we've ever said to each other, so I mean, it's totally in your right to have a different opinion, and yeah. I also apologize if I got heated near the end of these videos. It's kind of annoying to have to, it's kind of hard to have to, make a video when your dog is barking in the background and your siblings are being loud, and, this whole situation's got me riled up. So it's like, I can't always be calm when expressing my opinions on things. So, I apologize if I ever was unreasonable or irrational, because it's like, to be rational in a situation is something that's difficult for anyone, and especially for an irrational person, such as myself. And I'm gonna end this video, this stream here. I know no one really showed up to watch this stream except one person for a couple seconds, but whatever. I mean, people who want to see my updates can, watch the video after it's already out and like speed up the video because I take so long to explain everything. And that's about all there is to it. I'm gonna end this video here, and I hope you enjoyed watching this. I'd assume you did. I'd hope you did. I don't know. It's possible, but whatever. That's all I have to say, and I'll see you in the next stream or video, and Excelsior.